First edition here of the Managers Coaches Show. Jayce Cicinelli out of Oppenheim, 2 of the Power broadcasts here with manager Casey Dill. And Casey, starting with this season, starting on a good note, 4-0 to start the year, 23 straight wins dating back to last season. What's been the key and the goal so far?
Even though the win streak is coming in from last season, we do win a lot here. We just try to take it one game at a time. You can't win tomorrow before you win today. So we don't think of it as a win streak. We think of it as we got to take care of business tonight, and then tomorrow we got to take care of business tomorrow, and kind of just take it one day at a time.
Now, starting on the pitching side, the starting pitching has been phenomenal to start the year. How have they performed in your eyes?
Yeah, the pitching has been phenomenal, and it's the depth of our pitching. It's not like we just have our starters that are going out there and doing a good job. Every guy that we run out from our bullpen is going out, throwing strikes. They're trusting the defense. The defense has played great behind our pitchers. And I believe that pitching and defense is the foundation of a good championship caliber team. Scoring 10, 15 runs a game doesn't hurt also, but when we get into conference and the competition gets a little bit better, it's going to be the depth of our pitching staff and playing good defense behind those guys. It's going to give us a chance to win this year.
Now bouncing off that question, asking about the bullpen, how much is it a key for them to lock it down, even though they're pitching with these big leads, to still go out there and throw well?
Yeah, we want them to pitch like we have a one-run lead or like it's a tie ball game. I don't really want our bullpen guys going out there and thinking that they're comfortable because we have a big lead, because we're going to be in situations this year where it is a one-run ball game in the 8th or a 2-run ball game, later in the ball game. So I don't think the pitchers go out there with the mentality of, hey, we got a 10-run lead, I'm going to go easy on this team. They're also competing for their next opportunity. The guys that go out there and look good are going to be the guys that get the next opportunity first. So they try not to look at the score. It's more about earning your next opportunity and going out there and slamming the door.
Now, the offense has been absolutely exploding early on this season. At least 11 runs scored in the first 4 games up to this point. What's been the key as far as them playing at a very high level?
Yeah, I mean, our lineup is also has a lot of depth. Like Aiden Torek, first-year player here for the Power, has been smacking the ball all over the ballpark. He had, a ball that he hit last game that came off his bat at 106 miles per hour, which that's an incredible exit velo for a major league player, and he's doing that here with us. So. And of course, Noah Blythe and Mark Kirkland, those guys have been here for three years, and they've been an anchor in the middle of our lineup here for a long time. So a combination of guys that we know what they're going to do on a nightly basis because they've been here for a long time, and then adding guys that are kind of rising to that level as well. I do expect that the pitching that we'll face will start getting better once we get into conference. And that kind of stuff. But these guys have shown that they are very talented and are not overmatched by good arms. And the depth of the lineup 1 through 9, is going to give us a chance every night. Now, with this being your 9th year here coaching here with Power, how have you been able to produce winning teams year in and year out? Well, I always say, as great of a coach as someone might be, if you recruit the best players, it makes a coach's job a lot easier, So we try to get the best players. Like the baseball here starts before the players show up. We're trying to recruit the best college baseball players in America. We're directly competing for players against like the Cape Cod League, the MLB Draft League. Like we're getting those types of players where these are the best college baseball players in the United States. We want draft prospects. There's a reason why you walk down this hallway and you see so many former Power players that are now in major league organizations. They're playing in the big leagues. It's because we're going after those players that are the best college baseball players in America and that are going to be playing, a lot of them are going to be playing in major league organizations after here. So a lot of it, like I said, it has nothing to do with coaching. It has to do with let's get the best players out here. And my job is more so like a job of a major league manager. I'm managing personalities. These guys are so good, we try not to mess them up. If there are guys that need adjustments, we need to tweak their mechanics, we need to tweak their approach. There are things like that we deal with, but for the most part, let's recruit the best players in America and let's let them play. Don't hold them back.
Now, you mentioned a couple of the returners in Blythe and Kirkland. How have those returners sort of helped set the expectation for this year? Because the expectations were already sky high, but still to take it one game at a time.
Yeah, I love having returning players, specifically, Noah Blythe, Mark Kirkland, Dalton Thomas, Richie Amavisca. Those are all guys that I can do, share body language with, and they know what I'm saying. They can look at me down at third base and without giving a sign, they know what I want them to do. So the other players feed off of that. So there's a lot of stuff that I don't even have to talk about, or things that I may not have to do on a day-to-day basis, because those players have already set the expectation in this clubhouse that that is the way things are done here. This is the way this team operates, and it certainly makes my job a lot easier. They also know what the goal is. The returning players, they know what the goal is, and getting all of the other players on board with that is certainly a lot easier when some of your best players are returners.
Now, with a couple of the handful injuries so far that Power has faced through the first 4 games, how can some of the reserves off the bench that maybe might have thought they might not play a lot this year, how can those guys be ready off the bench at any moment with like a next man-up mentality?
Yeah, when they get an opportunity, they got to take advantage of it, because the lineup that we put out there every night is what I believe the best lineup that gives us a chance to win on that night. And I will keep running players out there every night if they're doing everything that they can do to help us win. So sometimes it is hard for a guy that's on the bench to get into the lineup. It's almost like you kind of got to wait for someone to not do well, and then when you get your opportunity, you got to take advantage of it. You got to do well when that opportunity comes up, and if you don't, then you can just end up right back on the bench. So we are adding 3 more players tonight, so it is going to give our bench a little bit more depth. We have a catcher coming in from UC Irvine. We have an outfielder coming from Cal State Northridge. Those guys are going to be put in the lineup right away and say, hey, sink or swim, here you go. Put them in there the first night that they're here. So we will be adding more depth, and I will be mixing in those bench guys a little bit more. But for the most part, the lineup that's going to help us win that night is the lineup that we're going to put out there.
Now, I want to talk about opening day a bit. We had over 2,000 fans for the Palm Springs Power. What is it like seeing that kind of fan support here?
Yeah, opening day is one of the best days of the entire year for baseball. I'm a part of over 100 baseball games a year between Winter League, college baseball, Power, all that. And opening day, out of all of those games, is one of the most fun games out of the year. The amount of support that this community gives us is phenomenal. The closest major league team is 2.5 hours away from here. So for a lot of the people here in this community, we are their major league team. And that's why you see 2,000 people coming out to watch us. And wait till you see 4th of July. 4th of July, it's going to be double that. We're talking 4,000 to 5,000 people, and the environment is just electric. And it's about as fun as it can get. When you're in that kind of atmosphere, you feel the energy. And it certainly makes performing on the field much more enjoyable when you have that many people that are supporting you and kind of bringing life to the ballpark around the game.
Now, last question we have for you is, how does this team quickly have a lot of good chemistry that we've seen early on in the game when none of these players really play with each other when they're at their separate colleges?
Yeah, so I manage this team where I want everyone to be the best version of themselves. If we did a good enough job recruiting, they shouldn't have to be micromanaged. I shouldn't have to tell them how to go about their business. I kind of just let everybody be themselves within the rules that, hey, we're here to win. This isn't just summer ball. I expect your best effort every night. If you do your job and we're winning, then I'm not gonna get in the way. And I think a lot of coaches make the mistake of trying to do too much sometimes, trying to overcoach, trying to micromanage things. And when you come here for the Power, I say, hey, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have more fun if we win. You know what I mean? So if we're winning, we're going to have a lot of fun, and you're not going to hear a lot from me. If you guys handle your business, I'm not here to tell you what to do every day. I'm not here to tell you how to go about your business. If I need to tell you something, if I see something that you could be doing better, if I see that there's an adjustment that you need to make that may help your game, yeah, we'll say stuff. But for the most part, it's come out here, be the best version of yourself. If you're doing your job on a day-to-day basis, if you're helping the team win, I'm going to stay out of the way. I'm going to have a good time too. And that's the vibe here. Everyone just gets to be themselves. And what else do you want to do if you're on a baseball team? There is no excuses. There are no coaches getting in your way. There is no overcoaching. There's none of that. If you have success here, it's because you took the most out of this opportunity. And if you don't have success here, it's not our fault either. It means that you didn't get the most out of this opportunity. So I like to keep the clubhouse loose. These guys are all adults. They're all grown men. And at this point, if we recruited correctly, they should know how to handle their business on a daily basis. And yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun and win a lot of games.
All right, well, that will be all for the first edition of the Manager Show for Palm Springs Power. Casey Dill, Jayce Cicinelli out of Oppenheim. Thank you, guys.